Hi, I'm Bob Cusack, editor-in-chief of The Hill, and have a very special guest today, actor, comedian, musician, Jack Black. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Bob.
First question, you've been working with vote riders ahead of these crucial midterm elections. Can you tell us a little bit about this group and why you got involved?
Well, I was just feeling a little anxious about the upcoming election. It's so consequential, and I've been listening to my favorite podcasts and getting a little freaked out that I didn't feel like I was really participating enough, and I wanted to find a way to help get out the vote, to rock the vote, as it were. And they actually came to me and let me know that they'd love to have me come on and told me about their organization. And it's basically just getting out the vote and getting information to people across the board, nonpartisan, just saying, hey, if you're confused about how to vote or what, district you're in or what kind of ID you need, because there seems to be more and more hoops to jump through just to be able to exercise your constitutional right to vote. And they're there to help. And I was like, yeah, let me help out. And they said, yeah, just give a pep talk and get the word out about vote riders and, about the upcoming election. And I'm all about that.
What is riding on this election? Why is it so important and, especially going into 2024? Because as you know, the election season never really ends.
Yeah, it seems like it's escalating every election cycle, that it becomes more and more important to vote and more consequential, and it's so exhausting. I'd love for just one election to feel like, okay, this is not a real consequential one. This is
Right.
really just sort of a basic election. But so much is on the ballot this cycle. We've got a woman's right to choose is on the ballot. The environment is on the ballot. Environmental protections. And not to mention, democracy is on the ballot. There's so many divides in this country right now. Whoa, what happened to my hair just then? These
That was quite a
headphones are
trick,
not on the
actually.
ballot, but they should be. Yeah, so it feels like it's going to be the end of the world if we don't, all get on board and vote. You know what it makes me think of? Did you ever see that movie or read that Dr. Seuss book where all the tiny little people on a tiny little particle, and it was Horton Hears a Who,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I remember that.
and all the little creatures on this little tiny speck have to all work together to say, "We are here," in order to save their little universe. It feels like all the voters of the country have to join forces and let their voices be heard to save the world.
Well, along those lines, on saving the world, some celebrities like Mike Moore, he has said, "Hey, listen, this midterm is not going to be a normal midterm. It's going to be on its head. So the conventional wisdom is the House may flip to Republicans, the Senate could flip to Republicans. He's saying they're both going to stay in Democratic hands. Do you have any predictions for what you think is going to happen?"
I have no idea. I mean, hope springs eternal. If I felt like defeatist and like, no, the red wave is coming, there's nothing we can do, then I wouldn't even be involved. But there's always a feeling like, no, we can do this if we all work together. And the conventional wisdom is that everyone who is eligible to vote did vote. It would lean towards, the good, a peaceful, more productive world. So that's all I'm pushing for, is just get everyone out there, participate in the process and not feel defeated. That's the bottom line. And I hope Mr. Michael Myers, I always get everyone's name wrong. I'm horrible with names.
Yeah.
I hope that Michael is right. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of that guy's movies, though. Don't tell him I got his name wrong.
So just overall, what about getting involved in politics? Did it give you pause? Just because some people say, why should I even listen to any celebrities? Why do they matter?
Yeah, I agree. Celebrities can be annoying, and the last thing we need is one more dumb celebrity getting their voice heard. But I feel like that's the beauty of this country is that everyone's got a right to speak out on issues that are important to them, whether they're dumb celebrities or smart celebrities. And all of those pundits on TV that are, supposedly the political experts, they're just celebrities too.
That's
Maybe
true.
they spent a little more time in journalism school. I don't know what makes them more qualified to speak, but yeah, let my voice be heard like any red-blooded American.
As a comedian, I want to get your take on political correctness, because whether it's from the left, like Bill Maher, or Donald Trump on the right, say it's gone way too far, and a lot of comedians obviously taking heat. Can you do comedy anymore, especially about politics?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a minefield out there. You got to be careful where you step, or else, yeah, it's a cancellation explosion waiting to happen. But no, there's still great comedians out there. It is a strange time though, and I see it with my kids. I have a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old, and they're definitely in this new generation world where it's very black and white. It's like, no, you're either a good person or a bad person, and if you tip to either side, and I don't know why that is. You'd have to ask a sociology expert onto why this new movement is happening, but. No, I still feel funny sometimes. I think comedy's still alive.
That's good. That's a good thing. That's a great thing. As
This is
far
a very
as
careful answer.
what about Joe Biden, 2024? He turns 80 later this month. Do you want him to run
Yeah.
for president again?
I want him to do what's right for this election cycle. And right now it's all about the midterms. And I think it's best to project positivity and strength for now, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm definitely not going to be predicting whether or not he's going to run because I like a lot of the things that he's done, and I'm willing to forgive him a falling off a bike or a fumbling with the words or forgetting a name, Michael Myers, for instance. I'm right there with Biden. It's a forgetful time. But his heart's in the right place, and he's got great people around him. So why not?
Are you worried that Trump will run and become president again?
I mean, that's always lurking in the background. Is like, oh man, that Trump guy. He's not going away, and he seems to be the new Teflon Don. He slips through all these lawsuits and stuff, and yeah, he's going to run. He's got to run. Because he's also running away from himself and his mountain of lawsuits. That's his ultimate protection is if he's the boss.
Do you think he'll run because he's likely to be, or possibly going to be, indicted by the Department of Justice?
I think he's going to run regardless. I don't think he's got any other gear. He wants to be up on top of the mountain. And if he can win again in his mind, he's probably thinking, oh, then that'll erase the time that I lost. I'll be a winner again. So he's going to make a run for the border, and he's going to be spewing out a lot of hate and fear speech is my prediction. He's going to be talking about, the border. He's going to be talking about, race politics, and there's going to be lots of dog whistles. And his in the KKK are going to be going, yeah, we're back. So it'll be scary, but at the end of the day, what's more disturbing are all the people that support him. And in a way, I don't even really think he believes all of that hate talk that he's doing. I think he's working the crowd, and he knows, oh, this is good. He's actually kind of brilliant at figuring out what people want to hear and just saying, and it's scary that people want a leader like that. You know what I mean? I don't see him as causing all of that hate. I see him as just using all of the hate that's already there.
I think he definitely runs. He called to complain about a story we wrote that didn't need a correction, but he certainly sounds like a candidate in that conversation. Last question, Jim Clyburn, the number 3 House Democrat, on election nights, he has said he likes to watch elections by himself. Where will you be election night? Do you have any kind of election night rituals with so much hanging in the balance?
I usually watch by myself as well, in the dark.
In the
under my
dark.
covers. Yeah, kind of like this. I'll be watching with my my Maddow. I like to watch with Rachel Maddow. She's
Nice.
the only one that I want to, give me the news, good or bad.
Any
I assume
any
she'll be there.
any final thoughts? Any question I didn't ask you want to tackle?
I think I covered it all. LGBTQ rights are also on the ballot, and that's something that's important to me. I've got family members and that are gay and lesbian, and I feel like the religious right has spent a lot of time demonizing, the different and the unknown, and wanting to marginalize them and say they're less than, and let's not let them have all the equal rights.
It's a big one. There's a lot on the ballot, and everyone should vote. And I think it's great that any effort to get people to vote is a good thing.
Yeah, agreed. One day, hopefully, it'll be so easy to vote that it won't even be an issue. It'll be like anyone who has a cell phone will be able to vote, just a bleep bloop.
Yep,
But
absolutely.
we're not there yet. Still, there's lots of lines and hoops to jump through. So be it. Let's do it. It's worth it.
Jack Black, thanks for being with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend.